forewarning, I might cry. Okay? I might cry just a little bit, like a little, like just a tad, like maybe just like one tear, okay? Like, mm. Okay. I feel it's so emotional. Like I struggled not to cry on the phone so many times. Boy. Okay, wait. I got this. Okay. Basically, we were talking more about my grandma and like putting her in a home. And then I started getting more into, because I never really talked to anybody in my family about like what really happened with my mom. And so I started opening up about that a little bit and telling him like how like because he was talking about the stress and the stress levels, and I was like, yeah, no, and I get it, like I understand like what you mean with like the stress and the overwhelming, and I was like, I think, and he was like talking about how like the stress like really overwhelming and is affecting his mental health and stuff, and I was like, yeah, no, I get that too, but I was like, I feel like even though living with my grandma is kind of stressful, like it's a lot less stressful than living with my mom. And so I'm like I don't know. I was talking to him more about that, and I was like, I didn't tell him everything about my mom because obviously that would take up like so much of the phone call. Like it would like our 30-minute phone call would have turned into like 2 hours. Like, but I opened it up a little bit about my mom, and the weird thing is like I've never opened up to my mom about anybody like fully. Wait, no. Yes, I have. I opened up to you guys about my mom, and I've opened up to 3 friends about my mom. Um, like, yeah, no, I haven't, like, told anybody else. And, like, my dad, I didn't want to explain it to him because I knew he would. My dad has this very fixed mindset where he doesn't like anything new, he doesn't like change. Like, he doesn't like anything that he doesn't understand. And mental health is something that he doesn't understand. And I knew that he would take his grudge with my mom and their divorce like too far if I told him anything about what happened. Plus, I wanted to respect my mom's privacy because would you tell someone that you know, someone you care about, and would you tell their direct hater like what are their weaknesses and like what they did bad? Like, no. And so I didn't want to do that to my mom. So, and I knew that my dad would overreact and like do like just say mean things, and like just I wouldn't be okay with it. Even though I wouldn't like my mom, I still wouldn't. I was still not happy about my mom at that time, but I still didn't want to spread like the negativity more because I still had this whole stigma around negativity. I still do. I act like that's in the past. I mean, it's lessened, but it's still present. And so I didn't tell him, like, all I did was, like, I was like a vague description of, like, being, like, somewhat ignored and the house wasn't really well taken care of, and that's all I told him. I didn't tell him anything else. I didn't tell her about her episodes. I didn't tell her about how she would sometimes physically abuse me, but a lot of times she would verbally abuse me, especially if I bothered her. Like, I didn't tell him any of that because I knew he would freak out, and I didn't want that to happen. So, like, I basically have not told anybody in my family because, like, my grandma doesn't understand. Like, she's not only there either. And my dad doesn't understand because he's so fixed in his mindset that I can't tell him either. And like, no one in my family understands, and I kind of feel like I'm an outsider, and, like, it's really difficult. I told you I was gonna cry, okay? Like, I didn't think it was that bad, but, like, I don't know. It just meant a lot to finally open up to someone in my family about it, because, like, like, no one was there for me and my family, like, emotionally. Because my mom, I kind of have to take care of my mom. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to, like, dry my eyes and stuff. With my mom, I kind of had to take care of her and, like, worry about her emotions and being careful with her. Because, like, I knew that if I said one mom move or said anything, like, in her mind meant that I hate her. she would blow up on me, and I couldn't do that. So I was just like very careful with her, and I was very careful with my grandma because she's having dementia right now. She can't handle anything that I'm going to give her. She can't handle any new information. So I couldn't tell her any of that. And I know my dad is like so judgmental that like I can't depend on anyone in my family for like a lot of the stuff that's like really crippling. And it like kind of like really like kind of like hurts. And to have my uncle here and have him like understand like what I'm going through, because I won't explain much, but like he had a girlfriend, or his ex, and she like had a lot of mental problems too, from like a lot of emotional trauma in her childhood, and she was like really like sexually abused as well. And like, so we understood like both my like fear of the house because of my half brother, and then also like dealing with my mom because he lived with his girlfriend or his ex-girlfriend and dealt with like being her caregiver as well and her emotional support. So we understood on both ends, and it just like really like meant a lot to like have someone be like, I understand, like I don't want to like pressure you, and like like I've never like had that in the family before, like because like my mom like she loves me, and I know that, and I know my dad loves me, and I know my grandma loves me, but like they don't like know how to support me because my dad is like in such denial and such a fixed mindset. My grandma's losing her mind, and my mom is like so unstable that I can't even walk around her and be okay. So like it does mean a lot because he understands. He's okay, and he's like, as much as I complain, because he's a talker, like he talks over me all the time and kind of ignores me when I'm saying, especially a lot of times I feel like he doesn't really care about what I have to say because a lot of it is like a little like shallow a lot of the time. But when like anytime we have like a really deep emotional conversation or philosophical conversation about like anything like really important, like he's always there, and he's like always understanding, and he knows like how to like support me, and like I've never had that before. Like never. Like my dad, I love my dad and he loves me, but like, and he's like raised me in a lot of like his humor and his like ways of handling things. Like I mean, not ways of handling things. I think I've developed those on my own because like my experiences. But I love my dad, and like a lot of like his like I don't know, like his humor and like his friendliness, I feel like I've kind of adopted a little bit, and like will always love him. But like he's always like evaded anything like deeply emotional, and he's always been there for like the fun and like the happy, and like even when I was little and I would cry, like he would kind of be like, Trudy, or his ex-girlfriend, like, take care of this. Like, I don't know how to take care of, like, it was like like it just was not like anything like deep ever with him. My grandma's the same way. Like, she's like extremely serious, or when she was like all the way there, she was extremely serious and like didn't know how to handle anything deep or emotional, and like it would just like we never like had any like deep emotional connections because we didn't never have any of those kind of conversations. And with my mom, she's like so like emotionally like unstable and like all over the place that like it's like it's really hard to read her and like be able to like fall in her arms and trust her to take care of me, because I had to take care of her, or like at least somewhat take care of myself as well, like the majority of my life living with her. And like, so I've always kind of like never really had anyone to depend on, no one to like I had people who loved me, and I still do, but like I've never had anyone to like fully depend on, you know? And with my uncle, like I have that, and like it's crazy to think about. Like it's like hard to like accept because I'm dealing with a lot of like self-hate. I'm trying to let go of that self-hate and being like, I don't deserve this, like I don't deserve him. And like it's not true. And like he's like such a like important person in my life now, and like it's so nice to like have someone who like understands and supports me, not only loves me, you know? And like anytime like we talk, like I just like I just like was struggling so hard not to cry on the phone. Like like throughout like we talking to him, like I would have to like pause mid-sentence because I was like, you're not fucking crying on the phone. Like, no. Because even though he understands and he supports me, he loves me, like, he also is a little bit shy around crying, too, and he doesn't really know how to handle it. So, which I don't blame him. Like, I freak out when other people cry, too. So, like I get it. And so, like, I was, like, trying so hard not to cry. And I almost wanted to end the call early just because, like, I was like, I can't. Like, I'm too emotional. Like, I can't do this. And then, like, I was just wanting to stay in the conversation, though, because, like, we were having a really, like, good conversation, and it was, like, really deep and, like, meaningful. I'm like, I didn't want to let it go, but I also was like, I don't want to cry. Like, god damn it, I don't want to cry. So, yeah. Yeah. And, like, even though, like, I know that, like, I'm not gonna be living in this condo anymore. I'm gonna be sad about that. I'm gonna be sad about not living with my grandma anymore. She's gonna be in a happier place because right now she's, like, in denial, and she's, like, what is it called? Secluding herself from her friends, along with, like, the few friends that are alive and around her, but as well as the friends who are, like, moving away and, like, leaving. And then so she'll be happier when she's in like a safe like place. And plus there, like he was talking about, it's actually like a Japanese place he found, and there's like they speak Japanese, they make Japanese food, which is good because I already told you she's like, since English is her second language, she's like forgetting English words faster than she is Japanese, and she's kind of reverting back to Japanese. And I've noticed her accent is getting a little bit heavier as well. So like it's like good to know that she has like a place for her to talk about and like have people to like understand her, because they're all people who immigrated from Japan to here, and like her, and they probably would like it would be good for her unless she loves Japanese food and like blah blah. So like yeah, she'll be happier there, I know, once she gets over her stubborn denial. And like love that so much. Love the nostrils. Okay. Hold on, I need a tissue. Because I know she'll be happier there. And plus, like, living with her is just, like, really, like, it's not as hard as living with my mom. And I have a lot of experience of having patience and treading carefully and, like, I don't know, like, taking care of someone who's not all the way there, but not letting them know that you're taking care of them, if that makes sense. So, like, it's not as stressful as living with my mom because her episodes aren't as, like, insane. It's mostly just her forgetting and her getting frustrated and putting that frustration onto me. But, like, it's never, like, physically violent or anything like that. And, like, it's, like, she's still, like, a little bit there. So, like, it's not, like, bad, you know? And so, like, it's okay. Like, I can handle it, but, like, it's not, like, something that I should be living with. Same with my mom. And, like, it's not something that should be, like, long-term at all. And, like, she'll be happier there anyways. So, yeah. And my uncle, like, will be happier, too, because he's the one who's, like, mainly taking care of us, because my dad went to Honduras. So, like, my uncle had to, like, move here and, like, take care of all the bills and, like, take up a new job that he doesn't particularly like but makes good money on, and it's a good job, and like cooks us food and everything, and like I don't know, he does a lot, and I love him so much. I like want to cry again. No, we're good, I'm fine, okay, we're good. I've just never like never had this before. Okay, let me have my happy moment. These are like not sad tears, they're happy tears. Okay, they're tears of like relief, because I no longer have to hold everything on my shoulders anymore, you know. God damn it, I like was over this. Thought I was over this. Oh, I don't know. Like, yes, I'm like gonna have like more responsibilities as I get older. I know that. I'm like, I have to like own up to my stuff and like mature more, because I know I'm immature, as we all know. Like, I literally like probably one of the most immature people. Not because I'm not mature, because I know deep down I am mature and like responsible and like can be all of those things. It's just that like I'm like fighting for my childhood that I missed, so I'm like being like a little bit more immature and like silly at times, and like I don't know, I think that's where my dad's coping comes in. But I don't know. But I know that I can always like depend on something. Like, I know that I could depend on my dad financially, like not for bills or anything, but just kind of like if I needed to, like I could move in with him and like we would be okay. And with my mom, like no, like I've never like felt any like you're supposed to feel like safe and like secure with your parents, and I've never really felt that. Especially with my mom, like even though I know she loves me, like there's never been like a like even if it was mild, like I've always been somewhat afraid of her, just a little bit, even though she like tries her hardest not to make it that way. And I know it's not her fault, like it's her mental disabilities, like one after the other on top of each other, along with PTSD for what the hell she went through as a child. It's like 1,000 times worse than whatever I've been through. But like it doesn't change the fact that I do like fear her in some ways, and I know I could never live with her ever again, and I know that I can never depend on her for like anything other than the mother-daughter relationship that we have. And like, so it's just nice to know that I can depend on someone, not just for like love and like financial like support and like having fun with occasionally. Like I can actually like depend on someone to like be there for me. Like like that's never happened. Like I've always been the one who takes care of other people. I've always been the one who like is there for other people. And like that's also amazing. Like I love doing that for people, especially people that I care about. Like I love being like their protector and their like support, and like but it's also nice to like depend on someone else for a change, and like I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm like, I told you I was gonna cry, and I thought it wasn't gonna be this much. I didn't know it was gonna be this much. I swear, Popcorn, you're ruining the emotional moments. He's like moving around his furniture, his rocks and stuff, and like there's it makes a lot of noise, and it like is ruining the emotional moment. Okay, like I'm being happy. Oh god, my face is like swelling up double in size and hurting red. Like that's great. Love that. Like my crying face. Like I remember when I was little, I would try and hide it anytime I cried, but like it's literally impossible because I already have like a slightly chubby face because it's baby face. But like it's even worse when it cries because it like doubles, and then my eyes like turn like literally like red, and like well you like I don't know why I'm visually describing it to you. Like you can literally see it. Like but yeah, I just know that like even when my like grandma moves into the home and I can't live here anymore, like And like I can't live with my mom, and I can't live with like anybody else. Like I have to move into that house, and I have to live with those memories, like physically there constantly. Like I have my uncle and I have my dad, and I have like other people that can like help me through it in their own little ways. But especially my uncle, because I feel like he's already so important to me, and like he's already been there for me so much, and he doesn't understand. Like, I mean, he understands like what I've been through, and he understands like the support that he's giving. Like, he understands, and he's like helping me, but he doesn't understand how much. Popcorn. He doesn't understand like exactly like just how much he is like helping me. Like, I don't like know how to express like the gratitude and love I have for him. Just in like the past few months he's been with me, like it's like he's helped me in ways that nobody ever has. And like sorry for crying. Ugh. 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 Oh my god, how many videos have I cried in? Like, someone should count them. Like, it's embarrassing. Ugh. Like, I'm no longer as like afraid and like terrified to move in there anymore, because I know that my uncle was there for me. He's gonna like help me through it, and like if he needs to sign me up for counseling, he said he'd be able to do that. And I was like, oh my god, like, because the only experience I've ever had with counseling has been kind of negative, because it was kind of forced upon me with my mom and like just the system, the CPS and everything, because like they said that it was needed, and I personally was like at that young age, like I was still in denial and fear, and like all I knew was that like therapy was like something that like movies and books kind of like frowned upon and made fun of, and like my dad didn't like it too, because he said like that's where the crazies were, and like I knew that like I wasn't like okay with just talking with a stranger, and like my mom didn't know how to explain it to me because I was too young to understand, even if she did try to explain it to me. And so I was just like not happy, and I was not comfortable, and I was still a compulsive liar at the time too. So like almost every word I said to every therapist was a lie. Like it just was not a good experience. And like I was kind of forced into it with like my mom and CPS combined, and like the fact that like now like therapy is being offered to me. Popcorn, okay, can you maybe stop moving? Okay, thank you. Boy. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I can't remember what I was talking about. I had to like blow my nose. But like the fact that someone is like gonna like support me and like be okay with like giving me therapy and not like forcing it down my throat because they think I need it, but saying that like if you like want it, like if you like need it, but like not in the like demeaning way of like you're not okay, like you need this, like in the way that like I want to help you, so I'm gonna like give you that support, and not like pushing it on me and not making me feel ashamed about it, and like, you know? So that's like really nice. And like no one's ever done that for me either, because like I remember when I had to take therapy, I was like embarrassed about it because like I didn't like it, and like my mom just kept pushing it onto me and made me feel like I was like something was wrong with me and that's why I needed it. And it made me feel like even more different and like more defensive. And then my dad didn't help either, because like anytime I would talk to him about it and I would be embarrassed about it, he was like awkward around it and was like, oh. And I was like, oh my god, he thinks I'm crazy. He was talking about like, oh my god, like something's wrong with me. Like, I just hated the entire experience, and I didn't understand at that young age like what therapy was and like what it does for people. And like I hate how there's like this stupid like stigma around it, and like how it's like bad and like it's like the last option, when like literally everyone can benefit from therapy. Like, it's not just for people who like are suffering like PTSD or anything like me. Like, it can be for anyone who needs to talk and like doesn't like have anyone to talk to, like, or doesn't feel comfortable just talking to like a friend or something about it. Like, it can be for anyone. And like, especially now with the depression and like suicide rates expanding so drastically, like, it's just nice to like not only vent to someone, but be able to know that they like professionally like can like talk you through it and be able to help you. And not everyone can do that. And like, it's just nice to know that there's always gonna be like someone, even if you hire them, to like be able to like direct you in the right direction, or what they think is the right direction. And like, I don't know. You know, oh my god, I feel a headache coming on. Okay, emotions. They're not bad though. They're happy. Like, they're really happy. Like, I think, like, I don't, like, I thought crying because you're happy was this stupid, like, weird thing that only, like, people in movies or books did, but it's not. And like, it is weird though. But yeah, okay. I'm gonna end this video now. Bye.